Hello everyone, welcome back. Finally the wait is over. Today I am going to demonstrate you how to make price adjustment for a project by using the information provided in the previous videos. Let's get started without any delay. Here I have opened an Excel file where I have set up a format for price escalation. I'll guide you step by step on how to use this format for your project. You can download this file by clicking the link in the description below. At the top of this file, you will find spaces to enter the project name, the firm responsible for construction, the consultant's name, client name, and the tender date. For teaching purposes, I have already filled in the tender date as 3rd July 2017. Just below, you will see the base date set as 5th June 2017. As I have explained in the previous video, the base date is 28 days prior to the tender date. So counting back 28 days from 3rd July, we arrive at 5th June 2017. Moving forward, you will notice a series of IPCs submitted by the contractor to the client, ranging from 14 December 2017 to 26 September 2018. For those who may not be familiar, an IPC stands for Interim Payment Certificate, which is the document issued by the contractor to the client during the course of construction project. It outlines the amount of payment that the contractor claims for the work completed up to a certain date. So the value of work done which was submitted in first IPC was 7.75 million rupees and the current date is 16th November 2017, which is 28 days prior date of submitted date, that is 14 December 2017. Then the second IPC was submitted on 5th February 2018 with the 28 days prior date of 8th January 2018 and the value of work completed was rupees 25.96 millions. The third IPC was submitted on 11th April 2018 with a 28 days prior date of 14th March 2018 and the value of work completed was 9.40 million rupees. And also you can see the current date, submitted date and the value of work done of IPC number 4, 5th and 6th. Now we will categorize the work completed in these 6 IPCs in the next sheet, provided a monthly breakdown. This is the sheet where I have organized the value of work done according to the respective months. Let me explain how I achieved this. You can observe the date when the first IPC was submitted, which is 29th May 2017. The project commenced on 6th March 2017. So for the first IPC, the work spanned over 3 months. It started in March, which has 31 days, but considering the initial 6 days, work was carried out for 25 days in March. Additionally, there's the entire month of April, that is 30 days, and 28 days in May. Since the first IPC was submitted on 29th May 2017, in the next column, I have added up the total days for the first IPC, which equals 83 days. The total work done for this IPC is rupees 7.75 millions, which I obtained from the previous sheet. To find the amount per day, we divide the work done amount by the total days, resulting in rupees 93,415 per day. Once we have the amount per day, we will multiply it by the days in each month to get the amount per month as per IPC. For instance, we have 93,415 per day and we have 25 days of March. So by multiplying, we will get 2.33 million rupees. For April, we will get rupees 2.80 millions. And for May, we will get rupees 2.61 million. Now in this column, we will calculate the total work done as per month. For the months of March and April, we will have the same amount as we calculated in the amount per month as per IPC. However, in the month of May, we will add the amount of 3 days from May, calculated in second IPC, with the amount of 28 days from May, which was calculated in the first IPC. This will give us the total amount of rupees 9.10 million. The reason for this is when we calculated in the previous column, we were looking at the number of days worked in one IPC. Here we are calculating the total work completed in entire month, regardless of whether it was completed in one IPC, 2 or more. The second IPC was submitted on 10 June 2017. It included 3 days from May and 9 days from June, making a total of 12 days of work completed in the second IPC. This work amount of rupees 25.96 million. By dividing this by the total number of days, we can find the amount of work done per day. Then multiply it with the number of days in each month. we can determine the amount for each month. To calculate the amount for the full month, we observe that in the second IPC, work was done for 9 days in June. In the third IPC, it was also 9 days. And in the fourth IPC, the work done was for 12 days in June. To get the total amount of work done for the month of June, simply add these amounts together. And by adding them, we will get 30.32 millions for June 2017. The fourth IPC was submitted on 10th October 2017. It covers work from 12 days of June, whole month of July, August, September, and 9 days of October. The 12 days of work was already accounted for in the second and third IPCs. We will calculate the amount per day for July and August the same way as before. Calculate the amount of work done per day, then find the amount for each month. For October, we will calculate the amount of work done in the 9 days submitted in the 4th IPC and the 22 days taken in the 5th IPC. Then add these together in the end. In the 5th IPC, calculate the 28 days of work in November and the 2 days of November in the 6th IPC and sum them up in the end. Similarly, calculate the amount of work done per month for December, January and February. Now let's go to the next sheet where we will create the escalation claim. In the first column, we will list the elements that will be considered for the escalation claim. In the next column, there are coefficient or weightages provided by the client. Here, as you can see on the screen, these are the weightages given in the bidding documents volume 1 appendix C to bid for the condition of contract's price adjustment under clause 70. There are two portions. The first one is fixed portion that cannot be changed and remains constant. In our case, it is 0.350, but it can vary. The second portion is the adjustable portion, which includes the major elements used in the construction according to the nature of construction. How to calculate the weightages of elements, it will be covered in another videos. In case you are interested in learning that, I'll provide detailed guidance. However, the client will furnish these weightages. In the next column, we will have the base rate for these elements, which was 28 days prior to the tender date. And these are the current dates, which are 28 days prior to the bill submission date. Now, where do we find these base rates and current rates? In Pakistan, the Pakistan Statistics Bulletin gives us the updated rates of elements month by month. If you are from another country, your country's departments will likely have these rates. You can obtain the rates from them. Here on the screen, you can see these rates given for the month of March 2017 with the names of cities provided. Let's see in a row of Peshawar. For our current rates, the rate of labor is 500. So we added it as 500 here on our sheet. The next element is diesel. Here is the rate of diesel given in Peshawar, which is 82. The next element is cement and the given rate is 500. So we added it here as 500. After cement, the next element is steel here. On this page, the rate of steel given in a row of Peshawar is 65,950. So that's why we added the rates here as 65,950. The last element is brick and the rate of brick given is 8416.67 and that's why we added it on this sheet. So that's how you can get these rates. When we divide the current rate by the base rate and then multiply them by the weightages, we will get the adjustment factor. For example, the coefficient for labor rate is 0.100, the base rate is 500 and the current rate is also 500. Therefore, by dividing 500 by 500 and multiplying it with 0.100, we will get the adjustment factor, the same as given in the coefficient, which is 0.100. Next, the coefficient for diesel is given as 0.150. The base rate is 80.48 and the current rate is 82. So by dividing 82 by 80.48 and multiply it by 0.150, the adjustment factor will become 0.153. The next element is cement with a coefficient of 0.060. The base rate is 516.67 and the current rate is 500. By calculating them, we obtained the adjustment factor of 0.0581. Now the coefficient given for steel is 0.120. The base rate is 65,950 and the current rate is also 65,950, which means the rate have not changed. Therefore, the adjustment factor will also not change and remains the same as the coefficient given for steel, which is 0.120. The last element is brick and the coefficient for brick is 0.220. The base rate is 8416.67 and the current rate is also 8416.67, indicating that the rates have not changed. Therefore, the adjustment factor will also not change and remains the same as the coefficient given for brakes, which is 0.220. Now we add up the values of adjustment factor for all these elements. We get the total as 1.001. However, when we sum up the coefficients given by the client, it adds up to 1. So the adjustment factor increases from 1 to 1.001. So the adjustment factor is 1.001, and by subtracting it from 1, we will get the escalation factor as 0.001. From the previous sheet, we will pick up the value of the amount of work done for the month of March 2017, which is rupees 2.33 million. Now by multiplying the amount of work done by the escalation factor, we will get the escalation amount, which is rupees 2095. So rupees 2095 is the escalation amount for the month of March 2017. Now moving on to the next month, which is April 2017. The coefficient of fixed rate is 0.350. The coefficient given for labor is 0.100. The base rate is 500 and the current rate is also 500. So the current rate did not increase. So the adjustment factor will remain the same as the given coefficient, which is 0.100. Next, the element is diesel with a coefficient of 0.150 and a base rate of 80.48. The current rate, which is 83, has increased this month. By dividing 83 by 80.48 and multiplying it with 0.150, we will get the adjustment factor of 0.155. Now moving on to the cement with a coefficient of 0.060 and a base rate of 516.67 and the current rate of 498.33. So after calculation, the adjustment factor we will get 0.0579. Next is steel with a coefficient of 0.120, a base rate of 65950 and a current rate of 69450. The current rate of steel has increased, so by dividing it with the base rate and multiplying it with the coefficient, we will get the adjustment factor of 0.126. The last element is brick, and the coefficient given for brick is 0.220 with the base rate of 8416.67 and the current rate of 8416.67. By performing the calculation, the adjustment factor will remain the same at 0.220. Now when we add up the values of the adjustment factor for all these elements, we will get a total of 1.009. So the adjustment factor is 1.009 and by subtracting it from 1, we will get the escalation factor as 0.009. From the previous sheet, we will pick up the value of amount of work done for the month of April 2017, which is rupees 2.80 million. Now by multiplying the amount of work done by the escalation factor, we will get the escalation amount, which is rupees 25041. So rupees 25041 is the escalation amount for the month of April 2017. By using the same method, you can calculate the escalation amount for each month. Here I have calculated it for all the months. You can go through by yourself. Now let's move on to the next sheet. In this sheet, I have summarized the month-wise escalation claim. Here you can see for the month of March 2017, the amount of work done is rupees 2.33 million and the escalation claim which was calculated earlier for the March is rupees 2095. In the next row you can see for the April 2017, the amount of work done is rupees 2.80 million and the escalation claim which was calculated in the previous sheet is rupees 25041. Just like that, I have added the escalation claims for all the months and compiled them at the end to determine the total escalation amount, which is rupees 1.91 million. Now assume that we did not receive any amount before from the client. So the net payable amount will be rupees 1.91 million. So that's how you make the price adjustment for your projects. I hope you can understand. If you have any queries, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll also make another video discussing different scenarios you might face while preparing the price adjustments and how to tackle them. Thanks.